Bachelor Nation, will you accept this rose? We love you. Love is in the air.
It's magic.
'Cause love is on the air.
On TV.
So love is on the air.
Podcast.
It's a podcast.
Podcast.
Love is in the air.
It's magic.
'Cause love is on the air.
On TV.
So love is on the air.
A podcast.
It's a podcast. Andy, Liv, Sarah, and Glenn. Bachelor Pod, it's the Bachelor Pod. It's a podcast about the Bachelor.
The Bachelor Pod starts now.
Welcome to Paradise and the Bachelor Pod, where we're talking about Bachelor in Paradise season 3 or 4? What is it?
4?
Someone
Four.
correct me. It's
Four.
Season 4, Bachelor in Paradise, one of the spiciest, most dramatic seasons in Bachelor history. It's got the whole world talking, and we're going to be talking about it. We are the podcast that Vulture.com called Not As Good As Another One.
Officially. You heard it here first.
Vulture loves us, and they didn't say they didn't love us.
That's true. They didn't say they specifically didn't like us.
They didn't call us shit, so.
That's
They
true.
didn't call us
That's
shit.
true.
That is actually true. Or like pieces of shit.
No, we are not even
No,
pieces of shit.
we're not pieces of shit.
I automatically thought of that Simpsons part where Lisa has the dream about the being in a band, and she goes, "Why would they come to our concert just to boo us?"
It's true.
Which is
Why would
kind
they
of what it
mention-
felt like.
Why would they
Yeah.
mention us in their positive article just to say we're not as good as another one?
Yeah, exactly.
When
Yeah, it's-
a fan of ours said we are the MVPs of this Bachelor Pod conversation because we're doing Bachelor in Paradise and
Oh,
we're
wicked.
here for it and we're ready to chat about the ickiness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
For 4 people who have trouble committing to things other than marriage, we've committed to this podcast pretty hard.
Pretty hard.
Yeah, that's true.
I
we
mean,
have.
do sometimes I just want to have a nap at this time when we do this? 100%. But
100%.
do I? No.
Yeah. Now, if you're new to this podcast for some reason, first of all, welcome. Just to bring you up to speed, we're 2 real-life couples who are in love who do this podcast. We got Glenn and Liv over here. We got Andy and Sarah over there. And we're raw. We're unfiltered. Half the time, we don't even like this show. So,
Yeah, I am the romantic, I'd say, of the group who really likes all of the kissing and all of the everything.
I'm the bad boy. People call me Terminator in real life.
I'd
and-
say I'm the realist.
So what does that make me?
The treasurer.
I don't want to be the treasurer.
That's like being a Hufflepuff.
Yeah, Andy's the
I'm the
Hufflepuff.
wisecracking smart Alec.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's all of us.
Nope, just me.
Okay.
I'm the Alex P. Keaton of the group.
You
I
are.
had to,
You really, really are.
Also, for new listeners, I have mentioned this before, but I do have a problem when people kiss on the show that I kiss the air as if I'm part of the kiss that is happening.
She did it.
I
She
did it.
did it during the second episode.
I did it today, and I was like,
It was when like Jasmine and Matt were kissing too. It was gross.
it was
Ew,
when-
gross. One of the
Oh,
grosser
Taylor.
kisses.
It was Taylor. Sorry, you're right.
Taylor
it was,
and Tara.
It was Taylor and
A
Derek.
hotter couple, thank
Yeah,
you.
but like still.
That was a passionate kiss.
That was a passionate kiss. Give me that. And it happened 2 times. So they were kissing. Didn't mention that to you, Andy. I have a question before we get started. So the opening's always so fun. Everybody has their little thing that they do. What would you guys do? What would be your thing in that opening
Ooh.
segment? That would be your fun joke.
Well,
let's-
first of all,
yeah.
we're going to do it in a couple weeks when us
Yes.
4 go to Paradise. We're going to go to Liv's parents' palatial lakefront estate, and we're going to film our own opening.
Yeah.
yeah. And
but
I really
obviously,
want to film us on dates during this, but maybe that's too much. We'll see.
We'll see.
Let's not promise what we can't deliver here.
now resources will be limited at the lakefront property, so let's go a little bigger here because
Yeah, exactly. What would if we could be at exactly in Paradise? What would be our opening?
Oh, I know.
I would enjoy a Chad Flamingo kick type of
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I love that. That's great.
I'd get on one of those Nouveau like hover jet packs that with water streams, and I'd come right out of the water. You know those things?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'd probably wink at the camera and then press the button again, and then I'd zoom out of frame.
thing.
Oh man, this.
So that'd be mine.
I like it.
I can't help but think of this one, and it's so low hanging fruit. But I think there'd be like a big fart sound, and I'd go, swoo, like I farted.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good because we do need some silly, like some really silly ones. So that works great.
I'd take like any kind of like soft fruit.
Okay,
So maybe they've
fruit.
got
So
like
what's
a
soft
citrus or something, or like a peachy.
What's
type
a hard
thing.
fruit? An apple?
Yeah, like an apple's a
Oh,
harder
okay.
fruit, I would say. And it would just be me on a wall, and I would just whip it full blast against the wall,
Yes.
and then just like turn around and smile. You know?
Yeah, you gotta have the smile.
Yeah,
We
you
all-
I
gotta
feel
smile.
like it's always funny when fruit is thrown.
Me
always.
too. It's like in Mrs. Doubtfire, the drive-by fruiting.
Run by fruit.
And I think
fruiting.
if Andy, if you throw it, you scowl first, transition into the smile.
Yes,
I think
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Ooh, I just thought of like wearing a pineapple as a hat while you do that.
That's also good.
I
Yeah.
gotta give it to Chris Harrison. His always make me laugh.
Yeah, and his was the
Yeah.
best. Again
always
this
the
time.
best.
Oh, what's Ravens again? I loved Ravens.
Oh, just
no,
the
you love
kiss.
Kristen's.
Oh no, sorry, not. Oh no, yeah.
You
What
love
was- what was
she ate a
Kristen?
burger.
Oh yeah, that's what it
Christina.
was. Christina's.
Christina.
Christina's just chomping a huge.
Was that supposed to
burger?
be a Paris Hilton nod, like that Carl's Jr. commercial?
I don't
I
know.
think
we
it's
don't
a
get
Carl's
Carl's
Jr.
Jr.
not in
Yeah.
general because they
Oh.
always have sassy American
well, you know
women
what? If
eating
that's the
burgers.
case, I'm still fine with that. I just think it's funny that she just takes a huge honking bite out of a hamburger.
We did.
P.S.
Like,
They
Laura?
100% reused Vinny's from last season.
Yeah, that's
Who did?
They
Vinny's.
did?
It's the exact same as last season.
Oh,
they didn't
really?
even bother to film another one.
I like
Come on.
Jasmine's, even though like it's like, well, it's talking about her choking. That's her thing. It was still funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause it
her
was a
smile
it
was
a crew.
really good.
And
Oh,
I
man, that's
I
I
mentioned
think
this.
Lacey's is good.
Lacey's. I was calling her Laura.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not gonna
fine.
remember
She's
her
whatever.
name.
The intern.
Every
Yeah.
time we saw Lacey's, we went, ew.
yeah,
Yeah, I like.
But that's a good
gives
reaction,
you a
I
visceral
think,
reaction.
right? I'd rather have that reaction than like Raven's kiss. Like,
Nick
Right.
really kept up that Santa Claus thing because nobody knows who he is.
Yeah,
Nobody
he had to do
cares.
that. I like Nick though. I'm cool with
Oh,
Nick.
he's great.
He's all right.
He messed
Yeah.
up a
Right,
bit.
he-
We got
he
to
fucked
admit,
up.
he messed up a bit in that first step. But
We've got 4 hours of paradise to get through here. We will be well under that in time, but we got a lot to cover. The controversy, the wedding, the people, man, and it feels good to be back in paradise. Am I wrong?
yeah,
certainly does.
certainly does. My 3 days, my Sunday, Monday, Tuesday are really figured out. We got Game of Thrones, which was crazy, but we won't talk about for sure because that's not what this is about. And then we got Bachelor in Paradise 2 days in a row. What a dream! What a dream of a
dream.
3 days.
Total dream.
I'm loving the cast so far. It feels fun again after the disappointment that Rachel gave us.
At
so
the end of
let's-
the season, yes, you're right.
Let's try to go back to Monday. You guys watched this today, right? So it's all fresh in your mind.
Well, we watched
the second
Monday on
one.
Monday.
Okay. So let's try to go back to Monday, just cover some of that stuff because we're completists here on the Bachelor Pod. I guess one of the big, we'll try to go through some tentpole things that happened on this. Let's talk about DeMario first because he was met with sort of a cold entrance there. Nobody seemed to want DeMario around.
Yeah, group spokeswoman Raven was not having it.
Yeah,
No,
and
no.
also he was acting like the word I could think of is a doofus.
Yeah, he always seems to act like a doofus.
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah.
always seems to do the wrong thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like just be cool because I've seen him talk on different shows and he's cool, but on the Men Tell All and this, he was acting out. Everyone was being too much, though. I will say that. Everyone, every time they saw these people who they probably had just seen on the plane, they were like, oh my God. And like jumping on each other. It was too much.
Yeah, I feel like he may have been overcompensating a bit, and he seems to be the type of guy who thinks he's likable, but he's not really. I
Yeah,
don't
he
know.
was. He's the self-proclaimed sweetest guy in
Yeah,
the world, which
and
doesn't
if
really.
you
sense.
have to say that about yourself, you're not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
100%.
And I found this part, basically everything leading up to the incident, quote unquote. It was tough to watch in that we knew there had been like murmurs of the producers telling, well, DeMario and Corinne, like, you guys got to get together. Like, was that straight from the mouth of DeMario and Corinne?
Yeah.
I think it was.
DeMario for sure.
So,
I don't know what
yes.
Corinne said, but it was
So
for sure
watching
DeMario.
that was like, this is taking me out of the reality of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
and you don't want to happen because it's easy to get out of the reality on these shows, and
Well-
you try to keep in there and not let reality infest your brain. But that was rough.
And they tried to like retroactively fix that in that little conversation they had
Yeah.
in the second
Oh, yeah.
episode. But I was like,
Yeah, we'll
bullshit.
get to that.
We'll
but-
get to that. But they're trying to change it. But we all know now that maybe not everybody, but some people are definitely pushed towards each other.
Yeah. Now, on the other side of the coin, Dean waltzes in and pulls a Jared where everybody had eyes for him, including some of the dudes were just like, whoa, Dean, not bad.
Yeah.
Everybody digs Dean.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
boys are excited. Of course, why not?
Yeah.
Diener.
I mean, Dean's super hot.
Yeah, it seems
Yeah.
like a cool dude, and you get to talk about his dad for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When he
right
shows
away
up.
he kind of he got with Christina right off the hop, and they sort of were able to bond over their fucked up families.
I'm going to say, though, I didn't see any sparks with these two at all.
No, this is a case of the two best-looking people.
I think
just
so,
too.
gravitating
Yeah.
towards each other,
Yeah.
and only being into each other because they're both very.
There's no one
attractive.
else around. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're both very
But
attractive. to
I
each
think
other.
they both need the opposite personality than what they've got there. Like, I think they both need someone that's a little more outgoing to bring
Yeah, and they
that
should-
out in them.
Not that Christina's adoptive, I'm sure Christina's adoptive family is wicked, but like Dean gets someone with a non-param roop type situation, so you can, your in-laws will be so cool that you can kind of forget about your crazy dad. You know what I mean?
Well, and
Well,
also,
in that
yeah.
respect, actually, Dean might or Christina might be a good person for them
'Cause
because
she
she does
understands.
have now.
She can relate.
She's seen on the other
Exactly,
side.
Yeah.
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 she's come out of that situation sort of, and now has someone pretty great. I think.
Yeah.
I
She's
think-
gone from eating lipstick in Russia to eating steaks in Kentucky.
yeah, I
Yeah.
was saying to Andy, I think Dean needs someone, because I was saying to you guys just before we started, I find him, as Taylor would say, he's not very emotionally intelligent. He needs to grow because he hasn't had that. He hasn't had that base that a lot of people have had with family. He just wasn't taught the same way everyone
Yeah.
was when he was. It is like crucial time to be taught. It's not his fault at all. But I think he needs someone that's going to be like, Dean, come on. What are you
Yeah.
doing?
A lot of guys need that, especially around that age too, where
Yeah.
in your mid-20s you think you're invincible and you think you know everything.
And she
you
needs,
need
like, a
someone to sort of call them
confident
out
dude.
on their shit. Yeah.
Mhm.
And after everything she's gone through, she needs someone that's like quite confident that way and will say how he feels and will
Right.
give her that. I think.
And we all know that one of the more transparent producer moves in the whole franchise are the Paradise dates, because they're
Yes.
obviously tailor-made to go to someone, either an existing couple or to someone who comes in who needs to shake things up.
Yeah.
So Christina and Dean got to go on a date because they were clearly hitting it off right off the bat. And I don't even remember what happened on the date. It was pretty smooth. It was just like,
think they
it was
just
barely a
talked the whole
date.
time.
They had dinner and a mariachi band came out. Yeah. But
They did the smacking kisses though. They didn't do the.
they did.
the
Yeah.
mwah, 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 not
Yeah,
the,
they didn't do the
mm.
intense kissing. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, we got to talk about Robbie here too.
Oof.
So
Yikes.
Excuse me while I get my barf bucket.
whoa.
I've always hated him, and I still do.
Oh,
That
Yeah, you're not
haircut
alone in that. Bachelor Nation basically hates Robbie.
Yeah,
That
Andy said
haircut-
Reddit.
is terrible. Like,
Yeah,
there's
he's
no
losing
other-
his
it's-
hair.
It's an abomination of a haircut. Like his,
He's-
yeah. I mean, his hair before was like, well, it's a fine style. It was just so molded that it was funny. Like there was never hair out of place. This time though, yeah, it is just like a comb over basically,
Yeah,
right?
he's got a full comb over, and he kept trying to fix it. When he can't just let loose and have fun. He's always worried about his hair.
Yeah, he's got that classic giant up triangle,
Yeah, one side receding.
yeah, one goes all the way to the back of your head, yet somehow there's hair everywhere else. It's like you're not
Yeah.
fooling anyone, pal.
Do the Jude Law. Give into it. Jude Law has a receding hairline. He looks sick.
I gave into it. If you're watching YouTube right now, I just shaved my head again, and I'm,
awesome.
I'm clean.
Yeah,
Ceci-
And I'm sorry, Jack Stone, when he said, winningly, I must admit, oh, guys, I'm not a serial killer.
oh my god.
Robbie is a serial
Yeah,
killer.
Robbie's
Yeah.
a serial.
yeah.
Robbie is the one who is insane.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
he's like, I brought all a pair of shorts for every day, and then
Yeah.
it really showed you that they're not there for that long because there was 15 pairs of shorts.
Well, they were there after the controversy. They were there for 10 days.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
10
days.
days to get engaged.
10 days. Yeah, I'll say this now. I read a Bachelor fan and a friend of the show, Bridget, sent us an article from the Hollywood Reporter that you should all check out.
Yeah, it's good.
It's with the head of reality from ABC. And they talk about Paradise and the controversy and stuff. It's pretty good.
Oh, I'll
You guys
read
should check
that
it
for
out.
Sure.
Wow.
It's definitely trying to mitigate some of the damage again. But they do mention that next week, Demario and Corinne will be doing an interview.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I I just want to watch the show.
I know. I was actually really happy with by the end of this week. It's like, that stuff's behind us, and we can go back to regular Paradise.
Yeah.
But that also, we were watching it. We were like, there's still so many unanswered questions
Yeah,
in this
that's
whole.
true.
There really
So-
is. And,
I just hope they're not
the other
using it for drama. Like,
well,
this is going to be stressful.
The other thing is like, there's still a lot of people who are not okay with what.
Exactly.
going on.
Yeah.
So, I think they're still working damage control here.
Oh, I get that. But that's what I'd rather they use it as instead of being like remember in the Men Tell All, they're like the most dramatic season of Paradise, and they zoomed in on Demario.
Yeah, that's.
And I'm like,
brutal.
that's using the situation for your own gain. If they're like, it's just like a straight talk and not like a bunch of music edited in and like pauses and shit, like it just actual conversation, then that's great. But I just doubt it'll be that way.
And ABC in this article and in another one, they admitted that the way they debuted Paradise in the first promo, I think, is they admit that it was not in great taste to sort of milk it like that. So check out this Hollywood Reporter thing. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's a good
But also, because of the short shooting schedule, there's not going to be a reunion show or anything like that. So we're going right into, like, it's just pure Paradise once this Corinne and Demario thing gets swept under the rug.
10
So
days, hey?
yeah, I know,
That's
it's nuts.
I mean,
And there's 9 episodes.
Yeah,
That's like an episode a day.
pretty much.
kind of fun. Maybe it'll work out to be good.
So
I don't
there's
know.
Yeah,
only, I guess there's 5 weeks of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, with yesterday's episode, the wedding, they kept pushing hard, like, there are babies and weddings to come out of this, guys, remember? And it's like, yeah, but this season is 10 days. Give me a break.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty hard to believe, but whatever.
I think the only people that have a chance are Taylor and Derek at this point because they had
Derek
that time
F.
in between.
I do like how, if you listen to some of the language, even Taylor, she was like, I just hope I come out of this with a boyfriend. It's like, yes, that's
Yeah.
fine. That's great.
Finally.
That's realistic.
Someone says that.
Yeah, and I think a couple other of them did too. Back to Robbie, the columnist from the Toronto Star, Deborah Yo, who does really good recaps. She speculates that Robbie got an eye lift.
Huh.
Did anyone pick up on that?
Oh, well, we should ask friend of the show, Bridget, about
Yeah,
that.
our plastic surgery expert. We will consult with her to check that out.
He did look intense. Like his eyes were. He looked different, and I couldn't pinpoint it.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe he's like putting contacts, but I couldn't tell. He just looked like a bit of a droid alien type situation happening.
He's an alien. And let's not forget about Lacey's birdness. We've got to keep spreading the bird word.
Yeah. I did start to get to know her a bit, which I enjoyed.
That helped.
Yeah.
She didn't sell me. Like when she got into Carly Waddell territory when she kept whining that nobody wanted to hang out with. Well, you know what? You got to do it yourself.
No one wants to hang out with you because you're saying shit like that and you're acting like that.
Yeah, totally.
Just to get back on Robbie. Robbie, a lot of people were speculating that he was wearing eyeliner during that.
Oh, interesting.
I could see.
Do you
I
know
could see that.
the part that was really shitty on Robbie was when Raven gets a date with him. They have a good jet ski date, which, as Robbie repeatedly, it was right in his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
He's a river boy from Georgia. So he thought he had a good date, but Raven wasn't into it. She thought he was way prettier than she was, kind of thing. And that he talked about Instagram on the date and how he wants to be an influencer.
That's his
That's
job.
crazy.
That's what he says his job is. In his like little thing that comes up under his name, it says influencer.
I gotta say that when they got back from this date and Raven was dishing about it to the gals, she was laying down some hot burns.
That was awesome.
I loved it.
I just gotta say, also in general, the number of hot burns that have been laid down in these 2 episodes were awesome.
Awesome.
Seen
I'm loving
great
it.
burns, and it's almost entirely from the women. It's awesome. Like they're really
and they're burning
nailing
people
it too.
that are pissing us off.
Yeah, it's the good people are burning the shit people.
Totally.
which
Yeah,
is great.
yeah. It's like Alex deserved all those short burns he received.
Oh, we are going to get to that, and I've got a lot to say.
Baby. So much to Ben Zorn's delight, I guess. I don't know if he actually found out about it, but Raven wasn't into Robbie. So Ben wanted Raven, but we didn't end up. Ben kind of fizzled away in the rest of this, I don't know, this week's action. He talked about his dog a bunch.
Certainly didn't have a meet cute with her. He would not shut up about his goddamn
So
dog.
boring. So boring.
Also, wouldn't it be cool if him and Derek started a law firm called Peth and Zorn?
You'd think it was from the future or from a different galaxy.
Well,
Yeah.
that would actually be a good like sci-fi buddy comedy.
Peth and Zorn.
I am Peth.
Peth is a robot and
This is
Zorn
Zorn.
is an alien.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
And
bad.
Peth
Classic.
9000. You are a friend to Peth, Zorn.
And no one, when they go in, like, talks about how they're an alien and a robot, but they do keep screwing things up. Like,
Oh, they
Because
just
of
screwing
those
things up
things,
left
yeah.
and right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peth can only think of things in terms of mathematics and like logic. And
And
Zorn is from a planet
Pure-
where they need to breathe
Pure emotions.
They need to breathe slime.
yeah. And he's really clumsy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's sliming everything and
He's
knocking
sliming-
everying over.
Slipping all
Yeah.
over the place.
And then at
getting
the end of the
lawsuits.
movie, wait, who's the alien? Peth
Zorn.
Zorn's the alien.
At the end of the
Oh, I thought
movie,
Zorn
Peth
was-
gets
yeah.
hit with a laser and he's leaking oil, and then Zorn takes some of the oil and he's like, "We are more similar than I ever thought," because like slime. What is this black
Oh.
slime?
Yeah. You
Then-
are also filled with black slime.
And then a solid kiss.
And
Yeah,
then,
and then they
they smooch. But
Actually, that's a
those
nice
aliens
twist.
smooch with their butts.
Oh, yeah, because then they're like, well, we really are similar. We both
We
smooch
both
with our
smooch
butts.
with our butts.
Slime and butts. That's their similarities. To Robbie's Instagram thing, where they sort of break the fourth wall a little, where they actually talk about their lives outside of it. I liked how Amanda mentioned how she tried to sign up for the celeb-only dating. service.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, they didn't let me in. It was kind of a rare part of you like to see them with their guard down and kind of
Yeah.
admit it's silly. And I mean, we've made it pretty public that on this podcast we don't like Amanda that much,
Nope.
but she hasn't bothered me at all yet.
She's been pretty good so
yeah.
far, and we have a friend on that on that celebrity thing.
We do. We won't say who she is.
Obviously,
but,
we're not gonna say who she is,
but
but like,
she is. She's on it. She got in on it early.
yeah. So like,
and she-
because we
and
were
now
asking,
it's
we're
really-
like, how did you get on it? Because it's like
It's really hard.
she's not like super famous or anything. So it's like, oh, like how did you get on it? She's like, I got on it like right when it started. Like,
Yeah.
she's like, it's super hard to get
She's
on
been
it
in
now.
some stuff. So
yeah,
it
she's
like
been in some things for sure. But
But yeah, and I think they're doing that because of what was said about all the interfering that gets done. So I think they're showing a little more than they would usually. Like, again, I'm moving ahead a bit when they, in the second episode, when they all talked about what they did in between the time when they had been like shut down and how they all had seen each other and they all actually admitted to that. I thought that was just going to be like brushed under the table and we're supposed to be
Yeah,
under the
good
assumption
point.
that they hadn't seen each other. But I was like,
It
oh,
was-
that's nice to know this background. It actually makes me understand how Derek and Taylor are actually that connected.
Yeah,
now.
totally.
I
That
wish
was
they
good.
would just do that all the time.
I know
Yeah.
it felt so good.
Yeah, I
you
liked
saw
it a
them
lot.
as people more. Like when
Yeah.
when Christina talked about bring Diener to Kentucky, it was like, oh, okay, cool.
Well, yeah, and like also though, big move. But again, we'll get to it. But what a
Yeah,
huge move.
totally.
But-
So some other outstanding issues from the first episode. We had Taylor come in. She didn't seem like she wanted to be there at all, but then obviously she gets into the Peth's world right away, and that sent sparks flying, and she was fine with it all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think she must have felt that way because she was villainized in her season and people didn't seem to like
Probably
her
a
that
little
much.
worried about Corinne.
Yeah.
And you all know I was always a pretty big fan of Taylor in the looks department, but
In
man,
the voice department?
her voice was real
Ooh,
annoying this
boy.
time. Maybe we just didn't hear that much in her
Yeah.
season, although she did. I mean, it was probably because in the battle between her and Corinne, I kind of sided with Taylor a lot of the time. Corinne said some stupid things.
Yeah.
It went back and forth though. But
Yeah.
in any case, Taylor, yeah, her voice was real annoying. I know
sorry,
you can't
Taylor,
help
you
that.
can't help it, but yikes.
Oh, I
she's
didn't even
23
notice.
years old.
Yeah.
She's the youngest person on the show.
Taylor's 23.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she sounds like it. That's
Yeah,
that's the
big
thing.
time.
But it's the mad
way-
vocal fry and the
Yep,
tone too. It's just
exactly,
like
everything. It's the
ugh.
tone, it's the
Especially
way
when she
she's saying
uses the
things.
vocal fry
Yeah.
and she says she's smart at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
you're not if you're using that weird stuff on your voice.
Another person who sort of redeemed herself in my eyes because she had a bad exit from the show before was Jasmine, who we all, she kind of had the reputation of being nuts. But she came in and she's been a lot of fun so far.
Who? Sorry, I
Yeah.
missed that. Jasmine, yes.
But when she got in a little jumping ahead with Matt, a little in too deep.
True.
Had a bit of the
Which
crazy
is bound to
eyes
happen.
there.
Yeah, the
bit.
crazy. And we knew the crazy was going to come out because Daniel said it. She's a Tyrannosaurus Rex on Viagra.
Yeah, I wonder though. Again, because they lightly talked about what had happened between them in that 10 days off or 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
So maybe they connected more than he had let on. And then she's like, "Oh, and now we're here, and it's all gone." Like that was kind of the vibe I got, but
yes,
who knows?
me too. I think actually they might even have said something to that nature.
Yeah, I feel like
that seemed to happen a lot, and I
think there was some leading on happening.
There's. I mean, the leading on is rough, obviously, but like, it's kind. I like it, man. I like it better when they're mixing it up.
Yeah,
Me too.
It seemed like a lot of people here were coupling up on the first day, and it's like, no, man.
Yeah.
Mix it up. Stay
and
open, everyone.
Even Deanie Baby mentioned right when he got, I think it was on his first date with Christina, and maybe it was in a talking head. He was like, I hope that I told her right away, like, if you get offered a date, go on it, because we're here to experiment, right? So I hope more people have that attitude, because the coupling gets pretty boring.
But then he went to Kentucky.
I don't like the fact that the show pushes so hard that someone's got to get married after this.
Yeah.
I know,
This
especially
should be,
this season, the
Bachelor,
shortened one.
Bachelorette, that's your time to push, like, one of these, like, a couple's going to get married. Someone's getting married. This is the show everyone can just fuck each other and fuck around.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, let us have fun. Jesus Christ, it's turning into,
like, you can't
everyone's...
have it both ways.
Yeah, everyone's trying to be Evan and Carly now. No thanks.
Fuck
I don't want
that.
to watch a show that produces Evan and Carly.
And you can still say it's a bunch of singles in paradise looking for love.
Yes,
They're still
of course.
looking
they're
for
looking. They're drinking
but
and
why are
fucking
we
too.
pressuring them to get married by the end of it? I hate it.
I feel like they're saying it's not a game, but that is their end game to have a reason to have this show.
Yes,
Right.
Yeah, I understand.
Because
the
otherwise,
reasons, but
like,
I just hate them.
Oh, it's annoying, and I'm always shocked. Anyways, should we get to the
I'm here to see hooking up and
smooching?
smooching and messing around and
Yeah.
like drama. I'm always. That's always what I'm here for. That's why this is
Yeah.
the best version of the
Well,
show.
With Jasmine?
Oh yeah, go
With
Sarah.
Jasmine, Nick came in really strong. And it was like, and
Oh,
then they had that weird
he
forced
fucked up.
kiss from everyone. It was very odd. But then he got so drunk, and he was very awkward, and he like pushed her face with his finger, and I was like, oh, buddy.
He got wasted. Yeah.
He got wasted,
Yeah.
and what a turnoff. And that's what happens in Paradise. She went straight to Matt.
Our boy Matt.
Maddie.
Like
Well
Nick-
behaved.
Like, what was Nick thinking? I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna tell her right away. It's like, I'm here. I'm here for you. I like you a lot. I think we should go out. Like, wait, have you even met before? Like, I assumed they maybe had.
Sorry,
just
what's your name?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sorry, you're the guy who dressed like Santa Claus.
And I could
Get
almost
real.
see her face be like, ooh, this is nice. Oh, wait, this is too much.
Like, too much,
Yeah.
Nick. Chill the
Don't-
fuck out. Man.
I doubt Nick is going to survive the first
No,
rose
he's-
ceremony.
Yeah.
Which is
If
fine.
we ever get to it,
I like
by the way.
I like
Yeah.
Nick. He's 35 though. He shouldn't be on the show. Whatever. And I'm glad Jasmine took Matt on that date. And Matt in drag was really fun to watch. That was a fine date in my eyes.
Mhm.
Well, Matt took her. Matt got
Oh,
the
yeah,
part.
that's right.
Matt got
Right.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was cool. And Jasmine was into it. But then of course it got a little too heavy, too fast. I guess the only other outstanding issue from this episode is Jorge, who we said goodbye to. But we welcomed in Wells, which I'm all for. You know I'm a Wells head.
Yeah.
Now, do you
Do
guys
you even know that?
Do you guys?
I
think-
did know that. You said that the other day.
Do you guys think Jorge was like suggested to leave because they wanted to get somebody like Wells in there, or do you think Jorge was like, "Hey, I'm going to capitalize on this fame now," and then they were like, "Oh, great. Well, then I guess we'll just bring in Wells."
I think it's maybe both. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he wanted to, and they were like, "Great, we can get a cast member to be the bartender."
Yeah, or he had some unreasonable demands, like people from back home were like, "No, man, like, what do you? That's all you get paid?" Da 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 da. And then he asked for something more, and yeah, maybe it was amicable, but I think they would have tried to keep him within reason because he was a fan favorite.
Yeah.
I know,
And
it
I
just
think
seems
he's
strange
living
for
in
him to-
BC.
In where?
BC. He's at least there right now in an apartment.
Jorge?
Jorge is in BC.
Yeah, he was like,
What?
he was laughing because he's like, Canada's the best because the Mexicans are sitting up on the patio while the white people work.
Hey man,
Whoa.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's like,
Sure, it is
he's
great
like
here. I
different
agree.
things in Canada, man.
man.
I was like, awesome.
yeah.
Was it funny?
It just seems weird to be like, hey, I'm gonna cash in this fame now when it's like this is only like the third time they've even made a big deal about you. Like,
Yeah, and it's weird that he was there for like the first 15 minutes, and then they gave him that little send off. Like, it's strange. But I'm
Maybe he
happy.
didn't
Well,
like it.
hey, I hope he does well. I hope his tour thing
I'll
works
go
out.
on his tour if I'm in Mexico again.
Yeah, why not, right?
His tour, I'll go on
Oh,
that.
absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, only if he.
Also, sorry.
I mean, if he's not the guy giving the tour, I don't want it. If it's just his
Yeah.
name, if he's just trying to capitalize on the name, no thanks, Jorge.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta get an authentic Jorge experience.
Yeah.
Let's get on to this second episode.
Well,
here.
we should just talk about at the end of the episode when
Oh.
everyone gets awkwardly pulled away.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was just, and then there was nothing. Like
Yeah,
they
that was
actually didn't give us any information about any of those conversations. I guess that's what the interview is.
And
for.
like they did a real good job of sweeping all the Corinne and DeMario stuff under the rug for the good portion of this first episode.
Yeah.
At first they showed them getting together and they act, how they were acting and stuff, and it all seemed pretty silly and fun. And then they just were like, and then we're not going to show you anything else that ever happened with those two for the rest of the thing.
Yeah. My whole thing on it was I guess they tried to make it seem like nothing at all happened, like it was no big deal whatsoever.
Yeah.
Which made watching the episode kind of good because it was like, oh, okay, well, I was scared that half this episode would be all about addressing this, right?
Right.
That talk was kind of bullshit. But I think what we failed to see and what you were getting at, Andy, was that well, I'm sure they have tons of footage, talking heads of people being like, oh my God, did you hear about what just happened with Corinne and DeMario and all that stuff? But they edited it in such a way that was like, it was just another day in paradise.
Well,
and then something happened.
But didn't no one know until the next day that really what was going on? Like obviously they saw the sexual acts and all that, but no one.
Yeah, I
I
forget.
don't think
The
they
producer
didn't know
stopped
right
them and
away
all
when
that.
they stopped filming.
although
Yeah.
if it happened when they say it happened, then we saw them jump into the pool together and Alex was right there.
Yeah.
Is that when it happened?
I think
though?
that's when
I-
it happened.
Well,
don't-
I just read something actually that said Corinne said that it happened a little later in the day than that, and it was in a hot tub.
Yeah, I think I was gonna say
Oh.
I didn't
And
I didn't think that's when it was. I think that they were just trying to make it look like from the clips
Exactly.
that that's when it was.
Yeah,
tricky.
totally.
That's
Yeah,
tricky.
they tricked us yet again, even with this.
Yeah,
But-
they'll do that.
But I mean, I like to think the cast are reasonable, and they all seem to be unanimous in thinking that it was just another day in paradise, and it got racy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I'm really curious as to what the original producer complaint was that got it shut down. Do you think it's just that she got so drunk, or the producer believes she got so drunk and nobody stopped her from getting so drunk, and that her being wasted was the fact that's like she might have consented, but she was in no
I
shape
could see
to give
that.
consent?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
in their whole talk with Harrison, that was a big point too.
Consent was big, yeah.
I wonder, or it could be like for the producer's end. Like, I bet there's been some tricky situations in these prior to this 3 seasons of this
Oh
show.
yeah, there'd have to be.
And maybe they were like, "That's too far for me," and they said something.
Yeah,
I would because
we
remember
probably
Chad
will
and
never
Lace.
know.
Chad and Lace, that was
True.
fucked up. So I don't know.
Yeah,
but-
like maybe after that, they're like, if this ever happens again, like we'll I
Yeah,
don't know.
maybe
We don't know
it's-
what meetings happen behind the scenes, but
Exactly.
well, I guess we'll skip the wedding for now. Maybe we'll talk about that
You
at
know
the
what?
end.
We gotta
Gives a
talk about
shit.
the wedding.
Yeah,
we just
I
gotta
don't
talk
really
about their vows.
Care about the wedding.
The
Let's,
vows-
let's wait till the
boring.
end. Let's wait till the end to talk about the wedding because we're on the thing now. I don't want to lose the momentum.
Good. Okay.
We're in,
let's talk
we're in
about
the
wedding
controversy.
after. All
Let's
right.
sit cross-legged with Chris Harrison. The sort of the crux of the whole thing was that the show and the producers are not at fault. DeMario is not at fault, and Corinne, they were basically like, well, no, she's fine.
yeah. Basically.
Yeah, I understand they needed to have this conversation, and I'm glad that they had some kind of conversation. but I wish it was like with an actual counselor or something rather than Chris Harrison, because it felt very produced and it felt like I was watching an after school special.
That's what I said
that-
too. Yeah.
That was so, they were like, these are the questions we're going to talk about before. And then he was talking to them as if he was a therapist and as if he had any idea of what he was talking about. And he doesn't. And it should have been a professional. That's what I think.
I feel like even if it was a professional, it would have looked the same though.
Maybe,
thought one of the-
but I might have felt better.
I think it's like a necessary evil. They completely had, well, not even
they
evil.
had to have
They
it,
just,
but-
it's just necessary. They had to have
but
that
not
conversation. I don't know. How do you make it good or entertaining or something? I don't
I'm
know.
not
Yeah.
saying entertaining.
No,
I'm
I know.
saying,
I know you're
I'm saying
not
for
saying
me,
that.
it would have been like, oh, this is actually worth it. Like it seems like maybe they are actually getting some stuff out. Like when Raven brought up being actually sexually assaulted,
Yeah.
and then he just went, "Thanks for sharing."
that.
Yeah.
I wish there had been a counselor
He
there, been
certainly
like,
wasn't-
and how do you feel about being on the show?
Yeah,
then?
yeah.
You
He
know,
certainly
like,
wasn't
Yeah.
expecting that, and he more comes at it from a host.
yeah, and that's
of the
I didn't like
show.
that
Good-
part of it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, I mean, it's edited too, right? We don't
That's
know
the
how
other
long
thing.
they talked
That's
about
the
Yeah, it was
other
probably
But
4 hours.
It's
I
so
guess-
deep.
tough to talk
Yeah.
about it because
When
it's
we-
edited, and we're like, some people look like they weren't interested and they didn't say anything. And it's like, well,
Yeah,
they very well
it's hard
could
to
have,
say.
right?
But here's the thing about saying it's edited. The whole show's edited. Then we can't talk about any.
Yeah,
of
but
it.
we're talking about a big discussion about something important, and they obviously didn't show all of it, so we can't be like, this person sucks because they didn't say anything.
I wasn't
or-
saying
No,
she's-
I know you're not. I'm not saying you're saying any of this. I mean, like, or like, Chris Harrison's reaction wasn't good. It's like, well, they could have edited it.
But that's
You
what we're
don't know.
talking about. And I guess what I'm saying is then they should have edited it better.
Well, then that's on-
because
yeah,
that
that's
is
more
not
on
a
the
great
editors than
reaction to women watching that, being like, oh, Raven was sexually assaulted and she thinks people should come out. And then all Chris Harrison says is thank you. And then goes on to talking to everyone else when that is probably the most important thing that was said. In that
I
day.
thought-
Kind of a different issue. Like, Raven sort of said her what she thought about it all. Like, it's not
I
like
know.
he didn't
I
let her
just
say
feel
anything
like
after.
the whole thing could have been dealt with better. That's
The
just
the
how
one
I
part they
personally feel.
certainly should have edited out was when Chris Harrison was like, "There's no misconduct, blah 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 blah. Do you all trust that conclusion? And do you all want to be here?" And then they went around.
Yeah.
Everyone,
Of course
I mean,
they
come
wanted to be
on.
there.
Why would they fly back if they didn't
They
want
all
to be
knew.
there?
They all knew the story. They all knew what was going on. That like, don't waste our time.
And
Come
all
on.
that stuff about, they don't make us drink. That's horseshit. Like, no, they don't physically make you drink, but are there like oodles of liquor drinks available everywhere? Probably even in the bathroom? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's
they-
what I'm saying. I'm like, it was all so. I was like, it looks like they paid them all an extra grand to say all this shit. And I was just like, I was like, I get that they have to have the conversation and I wanted them to. I just wish it had been done much better than that.
Yeah,
Because it's a
and
serious thing. Like and those people weren't there and they were talking about them without them being there, which was also very odd. They couldn't react to what was being said about them at all.
And it's like, yeah, okay, they're not slut shaming Corinne, but they're not saying anything good about her.
no,
Like,
exactly. So
they obviously have villainized her
Well,
already.
and then
so-
they were also like, Demaro's one of the best guys I've ever met. When like the day before, we're watching them all be like, man, Demaro's a piece of shit.
yeah.
You know?
And everyone
That was
was
before
saying
what
that.
happened.
And they're like
Yeah.
exactly what Liv said. Like they didn't slut shame her, but they were saying all these great things about Tomorrow. So they were making her like the bad guy in the
Okay,
situation.
but okay, I'll take the other side on this though. DeMario didn't do anything wrong.
we don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
According to like overwhelmingly from these people, and I honestly believe that if somebody from the cast would have been like, they're all like, this is I can't be a part of this because of what everyone's saying just isn't
Yeah.
true.
Okay,
The
I
fact
guess.
that like
Yeah.
Yeah.
that nobody's doing that. I guess I have a little more faith in like their humanity. It is possible that they're all just towing the line because they want to be on the show and all that kind of stuff. That's very possible.
But I'm also not saying Demario's bad. That's not what I'm
No,
saying.
we're all saying
I'm
how he was shit one day and how they're
No, but
they're
I'm
treating...
saying that they're saying that, but they also want to be there. They also want to be influencers, like they all talk about.
Yeah, of
they
course.
want
Yeah,
this
yeah.
very badly, so
question,
they're
no
gonna
question.
like push it as hard as they can to be there. What I'm saying is, though, I would have liked for Corinne to have been there when they were speaking of her and Demario.
Right.
I would have
well,
liked
that's
them both
their,
to
but
be
they
there.
decided not to come back though, both of them.
Yeah.
So that's not.
And
up
we'll
to
see them next week,
They
I
have to
guess.
have
It
this
just felt
discussion.
weird.
They have to talk about this stuff. Corinne and
The whole
Demario
thing
both
was
quit the
icky.
show.
The whole thing was icky. I agree with
The-
you.
the-
I
What
didn't
do you
like
think?
it.
This is a tough question, and it was for them too. They said, did race play a part? And it was interesting because thinking back, I don't really know. I mean, besides people maybe being a little harsh on Demario when the news came out, maybe. But as Liv and I said, if that was Chad, we would have. I think the media would have had the exact same reaction.
I would have felt the same way about it anyway.
I don't think it would have been. I don't think Chad would have been nearly as like demonized.
Really?
He basically did that. Like he
Chad,
pushed
yeah,
a
you're
woman,
right. Chad pushed Lace
and,
in the hot tub.
and nothing
Nobody
happened.
gave a shit
They
about
didn't
it.
blink an eye. Like I definitely think Ray had something to do with it.
Guarantee you, if that was
And
Demario did that, and there was footage of it, and they showed it, people would be losing their minds.
And here's the thing with someone like Demario, and we can't really speak of it. We're like 4 white people.
That's
It's like,
true. Oh, I know.
we haven't experienced anything, but he's probably experienced his whole life, and then this kind of thing happens, and it's like, and then it gets hit even harder because he's a black dude.
Yeah, and I agree with. I think it was Diggy was like, this is gonna follow him around for a few years anyway, and it's true. Like I think we've talked about this on the show before, where the news. Once you get the one story, people aren't liable to follow it up a lot of the time.
Yeah.
They'll just
100%.
like if you ask 10 people who don't really follow The Bachelor, like, hey, do you hear about that Bachelor thing? Like, what do you know about it? They're probably just gonna say the first part, which is like, oh, I heard like this guy Demario. Well, they wouldn't use his name. Sexually assaulted this chick on the show, and then it got shut down. They're not going to show. They don't know the rest of it, which is shit.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
So.
And also, for Corinne, she's always like all the pictures of her everywhere are always in like bathing suits and talking about how she drank and how crazy she was. So it'll be hard for her to get anything either. She definitely doesn't have like the fan base she had before at all.
Yeah.
And that's at least how she was making money for a bit there.
I did find it interesting when they were talking about her state. Yeah, she's a $1 million company. She owns $1 million company.
I want to see them talk together. I think that's when this hopefully will.
I guess what we're going to see next week.
Yeah, next week, according to this ABC guy. I thought it was interesting them talking about her statement, because I was also like, well, then what was that statement all about? But then they were talking about how sort of it was purposely vague, like it came out of a lawyer's mouth. And I don't remember it exactly. I should go back and read it, but it was
basically
I think she said she got victimized by. She was being victimized by people, so it did kind of imply that, well, okay, I wasn't really the victim in this specific situation, but the fallout from it really was what victimized her, I guess. Which makes sense if it's this one producer who kind of caused the whole kerfuffle.
Yeah,
it's
a screwed up situation.
And I'm glad next week. Well, I hope it'll be the final word, and maybe I'm hoping by the end of it we'll be like, oh, okay, we're pretty sure this is exactly what happened. Because even now, I don't know. Who knows? It's still kind of ambiguous.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge when we see
I just hope it's not edited like the Men Tell All. That's all I hope. Yeah. I just hope it's like a unedited conversation. That'd be sick.
Yeah, me too.
It's not going to be that. I promise you.
It won't be that. That's why
there's not a chance in hell.
Like it.
Go ahead. The rest of the we'll get to the wedding right at the end. So let's talk about the rest of when they got back to Paradise. It felt great. Everyone was back into it. Taylor, Derek Peth, an item for sure. Mm-hmm. Christina and Dean on rocky ground. Dean not communicating.
Not talking.
And we did mention this a bit before we were recording, but to me and some of you guys, it seemed like when Dean was like, "Oh, I'm not sure about any of this," I think he meant everything.
I agree. That's exactly what I said too, Liv. I was like, I think he's just over the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think he's over
seemed
being
kind of uncomfortable, especially when they got back.
I think he's over being
body
on TV.
language during the chat.
I think he's sick of being followed around by cameras and everything, and that's why during that conversation about all the stuff, he was just like lying on the ground, like he just didn't want to be there.
The only thing I'll say though, because then when we see these clips of D-Lo coming along, he's having a hoot.
Well, maybe it takes, maybe it took the right woman to get him involved again.
But
who knows?
He was also kind of like this, like he doesn't like dealing with stuff. Remember when Rachel was trying to talk to him and he just kept laughing? Mm-hmm. So I don't think he likes this kind of stuff. He's younger for his age in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's not good in relationships. Like, hey, it's not completely completely weird if after he spent a week with Christina in Kentucky, he's like, well, I like her, but I'm really not that into it. Exactly. And then he gets back, he's expected to hit the ground running with Christina. At least Christina expects that. That's weird for him. Mm-hmm. And then he's got to sort of try to break it off. And he did the classic not breaking it off with words, but just with body language and acting like
just
kind of
stupid.
Dickhead.
Like, just cut it. Just cut her loose, man.
Yeah, because we know D-Lo shows up and he's into it. So
And by the
I don't know.
anyways, I don't want to.
Can I tell? I don't know where this was exactly in the ep, but I just don't want to forget about it because it was my favorite moment of the whole 4 hours when her name's Lacey. Is that her name?
Lacey, yeah.
Said that she's into Daniel and that he's her perfect man.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, loved it.
Lacey, pure sad sack, just so bummed out that it turns out the guy who likes her, Iggy, woof, is
Oh,
a piece
God,
of
don't-
shit.
Yeah, and was
And
for sure.
I hate Iggy.
But she called him out on it. That's what I'm talking about, her personality. It's like, cool.
Yeah,
She was
yeah.
like, are you
She's
just
like, "You're
full of shit right
Yeah,
now?
yeah.
And I was like, cool.
He's here just to hang out with his bros. It's so true.
It's so true.
He's such a fucking
He
loser,
sucks.
man.
When Lacey told him his grandpa died, when he was telling other people, it's like, yeah, it sucks. Her grandpa died, so she's not going to be here to give me a rose.
He was basically, yeah, that sucks for me.
yeah. Oh,
Ugh.
God, I
I
can't
know.
even. I think I hate him more than Alex.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh, we got a new?
Alex was pretty brutal
let's
in
get
this
into this,
episode.
Oh, I
man.
know.
Alex was very brutal.
But
in
she
this
was into
episode.
Daniel. Can we all just talk about that for one
I
second?
think it's very exciting that the intern is into Daniel.
It's who could ever be into Daniel?
It's gonna be great. She's gonna fly
Perfect
south
man.
and pick up, worms with her beak and bring it back to him. Because
Right back to that nest.
He's Birdie too.
He's birdie too. Of course he is. He's a big male bird.
I'm
Yeah.
so excited. He's gonna maybe imagine if he gets engaged at the end of this. Like,
Oh my
I-
He
God.
might-
I'd
He
love
might
to
make a sex tape with her.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
That is to be
oh my
believed.
God. Also,
Love
like
it.
after everything, is that cool to show? Like, is that a cool
Yeah.
thing for him to be saying at all?
I think they're. I bet you they're hypersensitive about it, and they got all the permissions they
Yeah.
need now.
Oh
Hopefully.
man, but
Hopefully.
I'm just happy that he'll hopefully be on for the entirety of the
Oh,
season.
I can't wait.
Can't-
I can't
I know.
wait.
Can't be more stoked that Daniel's coming back. Can we talk about Amanda and
Yeah.
and
I do. Yeah.
and
Now
Alex right now?
we're
Oof.
we're all we talked a lot of shit about Alex. None of us liked him.
Sarah
His
liked him.
short
I
man-
just think he's
Oh, really?
handsome. I think
Never
he's
liked him.
handsome.
You liked Alex.
Do you
He was your
mind-
boy.
I
His
did. He
height-
was not my
He was
boy.
your boy.
Would his
Andy.
height bother you, Sarah? Because he's probably would he be maybe
He's
marginally
too short
taller than
for
you
me.
are?
Yeah,
He's
he's-
only
Yeah.
a bit taller than you.
Yeah,
obviously,
he's too
right?
short
He's like
for
five. Was he like 5'5"?
I like a guy that I can't look straight into the eyes of.
He's
He's
got
got a great face.
yeah,
he's
he's got that
gorgeous.
Superman.
He's got
Clark
a
Kent
beautiful
look.
face,
Yeah.
but he's too big and too tiny
And
for
it's
me.
funny, like
Big
with
and-
everybody. yeah, yeah.
Too big
Too
and too
wide
tiny.
and too
yeah.
little.
Yeah.
He.
Um,
Okay, go ahead.
he
And he's annoying.
yeah, exactly. Like I only saw him kind of on Instagram during the show. I thought him and the Chad stuff was total shit. I was like, this sucks. And when he got kicked off, I'm like, peace. But then you see him on like Instagram and you forget what they're like. And then when he was back on the show, I'm like, oh my God, he sucks so much.
And he had problems with Derek Peth also.
oh yeah, he
and
sucks.
Yeah.
I think from seeing Peth's like
Yeah.
social media presence that he's an okay dude.
And now
He's
he's
just
back on the
boring.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what
right?
me
Like,
and Taylor
he-
make a perfect couple.
He's an okay guy. He's not the best or anything, but like he's fine. And then Alex, like, how are you gonna have a problem with a guy like that? I think Alex really sucks. And then it was 100% confirmed this episode.
Yeah.
This shit with Amanda is
Dean
out of
said
control.
It best.
It's
Dean said he's annoying.
He's annoying.
I love
Dean was trying
it's
to get
more
him
than
away
that.
from their conversation. He was like, ugh, this guy.
I even said that even his tattoo has short man syndrome. He has
Yeah.
a little version of the Rock's tattoo.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like not even fully covering his like whatever his tits.
Yeah.
But like
When a girl or a woman says to you, as Maltby did, like, look, calm down a little. The ladies and I are talking, and you're coming on too strong. Don't come back with, oh no, that's not the kind of guy I am.
Oh.
You listen to that, and you
Yeah.
act because they're watching.
But that's
and
the
they're
type of guy
So-
he is.
Why
it
he's so
is the type of
shitty.
guy he is.
Yeah.
And he even went
He's like, oh no, it's just friendship now. Oh yeah,
he even
right.
goes to Raven, and Raven's like, forget about her. Go find someone else.
Raven,
like,
yeah.
you know what
Voice
I mean?
of-
Like she's
Voice of Raven.
not that interested. Like whatever. And he's like, okay. One more try though. I got to go back. It's like, fuck you.
And then
Fuck you forever.
and then
he goes and
Amanda
talks
was
to her,
like,
and
ugh.
Amanda like literally rolls her eyes and,
and
sighs.
Gus, like yeah, like
Dean's obviously trying to deflect it all. It's so funny. And then, okay, he's so brutal. And then he does this bullshit entitled thing some guys do where they're like, oh, I guess I can't be a nice guy. It's only
Yeah.
fucking
Oh my
assholes. Are
That
you
pissed-
kidding
that
me?
too. That pissed me off so
He's
much.
talking about this friend zone bullshit. It's like, oh my.
Yeah, because she has to be into you.
Fucking bad.
Just because you were
Oh,
nice to her,
exactly.
she has to want to be with you.
Guys.
You idiot. But then everybody burned him so hard on how short he is.
Vinny was nailing him.
Oh,
Who
Yeah.
else?
Alexis was
Alexis.
crushing him at the bar.
Oh,
like,
Alexis
oh my
was
god, Alexis was
crushing
being
him.
so funny. She's like, I'll be Amanda. Are my children taller than you?
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
hot burns.
Man,
Oh, my God.
and Alexis did not disappoint in her Paradise debut. We knew she'd be fucking awesome.
But will she stick
But
around?
will she stick around? And
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
question.
She needs to
I
be
don't
more
think
visible. I like the fact that her standards are like high enough that like she's like, I don't really like any of these guys.
Yeah.
Because honestly, we're talking about this is a pretty good cast, but I think it's a dud cast of guys.
They're always duds. The
I
women are
think
always better.
guys
But at
are
least with
okay.
There's usually a couple of guys you like.
Yeah, well, we're gonna get Daniel in there. Who else do we know?
Ben
Is
Zorn
there anyone else we
disappointing
know
me
is
right
coming
now.
in?
Like there's a lot of disappointments. here.
Adam.
I'm excited for
Adam's
Adam.
coming in.
Adam's gonna do well.
I think
Adam's
Matt's
gonna
gonna
kill.
improve a bit.
I thought
Yeah.
Vinny
Like
would do
that.
better. I don't know why
Vinny's
Vinny and
been-
Alexis
Vinny's been
don't.
invisible to
They
me.
gotta hook
It-
up
Yeah.
here.
I know.
It-
Vinny and
the fact-
Alexis. Come on.
The fact that Vinny's the elder statesman, though, he's gonna get those sympathy roses at least for the
Yeah,
first
he's
couple
gonna be
cycles.
carried through a while.
Yeah.
Because
That's
everyone
true.
loves him. It's Vinny.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
Nick's
Vinny.
out.
Up Vinny.
Nick's out for sure. Alex is out for sure.
I think
Iggy,
Iggy-
get out
Iggy's
of
gone.
here.
Yeah, I
Poor
think those
Iggy.
three are out.
The fact that they even
But-
asked Iggy
Or
back is
four.
like, insulting to me as a fan
Yeah,
of the show.
me too.
because
Yeah.
he
I'm
sucks
so excited
bad.
for Diggy to redeem himself, but then I forget who it was. Someone just was like, he doesn't know how to talk to women.
What about like
Aw.
Will
Remember?
and Anthony? Like we had good guys on Rachel's season.
know.
Yeah.
Maybe they said no. Who knows, right? Like maybe they were approached, but
Yeah.
geez,
Very
those
possible.
guys would have been so much better.
Anthony was
Alex from is that his name?
Oh,
Oh,
that's who
yes.
Rachel thinks should be the Bachelor.
He should be
Oh,
on
really?
the friggin'
Yeah.
Bachelor in Paradise, no question.
Yeah,
She said
he would
out
own
of
Paradise.
everyone, he should.
I have to go. I'm sorry, guys. I just gotta,
Oh.
I gotta get going. But I did want to do a little thing before I left. This might not come at the right time of the show. Maybe I'll even edit it so that it comes later. But I wanted to do a little power ranking. Okay.
All right.
So we haven't done this on the show really ever. But I'll do my own power, like my personal power ranking. That I already have ready to go, and then maybe like everyone can do a different one each week. Maybe everyone
Okay,
can do
great.
their own, right?
Ooh, good idea. Okay.
We'll have like Sarah's, Liv's, Glenn's, all that.
Make
stuff
sure
going
you
forward.
write this down and email it to all us so we can adjust accordingly.
Okay, so for me, and it's like half predicated on who I think like is really doing well and run the roost, but also who I'm liking and I think is doing well on the show. Okay, number one. All right. Who would you guys say is your number one? Let's just get that. 'cause
Ooh,
that's
I got to look at the cast
Like
here
my
real quick.
Like, who do you think is like
Or
doing well
ruling
on the
the
show?
roost?
Who's like kind of top dog? Who's like guaranteed in? There's no like
You know,
Off
this
the
person's gonna be in for
top-
a while.
Top of my head, I'm saying Raven.
Yep, that's who I picked.
I
Raven.
don't think Raven will end up in a relationship though. It's
Eh,
not. She's
that's
not
fine.
connecting.
That's
but
fine.
that for me is what
But
the show
she's
is
such
about.
the spokeswoman
Yeah.
for so many
And
people.
everyone loves her.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
everyone loves her. She's sought after.
Yeah.
The guys are all over and stuff, and yeah, and she's been funny.
yeah.
She's been
Yeah.
burning people.
Yeah,
she's been
she's-
very funny. Like she's shown a lot of personality on the season now.
Wearing
so
some
far.
new fashions from Gary's dresses.
Yeah, she's rocking
Yeah.
a
Some
couple
more
of Gary's
successful than
dresses.
others.
Yep.
Next, I have a real surprise, Amanda.
Whoa.
Like we said, Amanda, we're not real big fans of her, but like, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I think she's
Everyone
been
kept
very,
saying like, "Oh, she deserves love," blah blah blah. And it's like,
like,
I don't believe that, but they all seem to.
yeah, like, I don't know about that, but they all seem to really like her. But also, personally, I just love the way she handled the whole Alex thing. She's burning them and stuff. It's great. Next, I got Taylor and Derek. They're the power couple right now.
Package deal. Interesting.
Package
Yeah.
deal. They're doing really well together.
Can I say one thing before you go any
Sure.
further? You don't have Jasmine.
Oh, I thought I did. Okay, yeah. You know why? Because if you go on the cast on the ABC page, they don't have everyone on there.
What?
I had to look it up on Wikipedia. I know where I'd put her, though, so don't worry about it.
Great.
Next is Dean.
Fair.
Yep.
Sought after
Everyone loves
man.
him.
Everyone loves Dean. The only thing that's keeping him out of the top three is that we already got a pretty strong couple going here that people seem to be very into. And, like, I'm not so grossed out by those two. They're fine. Next, I got Christina. Mostly a
Okay.
personal pick. I think
Well
Christina's
respected.
great. Next, I got Matt. Matt seemed to be the have
Pretty
the upper
high.
hand.
That's pretty high there.
That's pretty high. But like, you'll see why. If you could make a case for any of the people I'm going to name next being over Matt, I'll give you
Jasmine.
that.
The rest of them in no particular
Jasmine's not
order.
over Matt. She's
She's over the
no.
next people you have 100%.
but Jasmine is next.
yeah.
Jasmine, here's Jasmine. I think just because of the simple relationship dynamics, you got to put Matt slightly ahead of Jasmine. But Jasmine, very well liked.
Very well liked.
Very well liked.
And
Good.
she's getting a lot of airtime.
Getting a lot of airtime. I think it's going to be great. I can see her
She looked nice in that
increasing
white
over the
bikini.
next couple weeks. Then we got Robbie, also doing
Okay.
fairly well considering how shit he is. You know what I mean? Like, I can't believe it, but like he's
Yeah.
doing well. People, he's staying out of trouble.
He has that thing where he was a semi-finalist on The Bachelorette, which kind of, I think, increases his stock. Like, we've
Yeah.
seen a lot of him already.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Then we got Vinny, largely
Okay.
invisible, kind of a ho hum. Like, where's he been? We got to
I
see. more
might have
from him.
put Vinny higher on my list,
Fair
but that's
enough.
fine.
Then I got Jack Stone.
Okay.
Same thing. Kind of whatever. Like,
I disagree with
He
your
hasn't been doing
placement of
much.
Jack and Ben Zorn.
Fair
I think they
enough.
should be flipped.
okay, Jack Stone. Then I got Danielle M. Same thing. Like, just kind of not really doing a lot. Kind of floating around the middle. Alexis.
Alexis over Danielle.
Whoa,
I got
wow.
Alexis lower than Danielle because Danielle seems to have been like have a bigger impact on what's actually happening, whereas Alexis shows up once in a blue moon and makes a funny joke.
Interesting.
But like, I want Alexis to be number one, man. She's my favorite on the show. Then I got Diggy, who hasn't done anything, and then I got Ben Zorn, who's like maybe the biggest disappointment
He
that I've
already
had so
kissed
far.
Raven.
Yeah,
He's
he kissed
above.
Raven, but then she made fun of him for talking about his dog the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, you get if you get a kiss and then the person burns you after.
Did she make
That's
fun of him, or was
brutal.
that us making fun
No,
of
no,
him?
she made fun of him.
And
about the
he
dog.
was burned pretty hard through social media for this dog thing.
Yeah.
Like, he was getting
it's
roasted.
embarrassing.
He was a laughing stock.
I think he's over
Pet
Iggy,
Zorn.
though.
Here's
Or
I'm actually gonna do a quick adjustment here. Then I'm gonna say Nick, Saint Nick.
Okay.
Yep.
He's whatever. He really fucked up that whole Jasmine thing. He could be a lot higher if it wasn't for that. Then I got Lacey. Lacey's just been a very sad sack, but then she did have some rather unfortunate thing
once
happen
Daniel
to her.
comes,
Then we
she's
got-
going way past Iggy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I agree. Then we got Iggy, who sucks, and then we got Alex. Peace.
Yeah, I have a couple adjustments for me, but I generally agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just moved Ben Zorn up a bit.
You moved Ben
So-
Zorn
A
up
bit,
a bit.
not
yeah.
not and Alexis before Danielle Maltby.
Danielle Maltby, they've been giving her a lot more screen time. I'll
Still
tell you
boring
She
that.
had-
as hell.
Yeah.
She had that good heart-to-heart with Wells. I like that. And she got a new pair of tits, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
What does everyone think of her breast augmentation?
As someone similarly bodied as her, I'm disappointed. But, you know.
Do
She
you,
didn't go
girl.
huge, though.
Get
I
nuts.
mean,
Have
to
fun.
each their own. She can do whatever. she
Exactly.
wants.
Do what you want. It's just when I see people of my similar size do it, I'm like, ah,
Andy, I
I
just,
don't
Lost
like
another
it.
one.
I know, exactly.
I gotta ask you one thing before you go, Andy.
Okay.
For the wedding, I gotta get one word of how you would describe that wedding.
Oh my god.
Too hard?
One word.
A few words if you want.
Like not cool.
Cool. Yeah, for sure.
I
Andy's parting words. I
Yeah.
like it.
It's crazy how Evan is such a loser. He makes Carly look cool. I'll say that, and then
Yeah.
I'll leave. Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta go. But
later,
we'll see.
bud.
I'll see everyone next week. These guys are gonna keep talking. Bye.
Bye.
I put up a poll on Twitter the day.
Yeah, I saw that.
Asking how people would react because I knew that Liv and I would end up fast forwarding most of it, which we
Which
did.
we did.
We didn't watch.
Oh.
We didn't watch a lot of it. Sounds like, sir, you did.
I'll give you the
so-
lowdown of what I thought.
Well, I mean, we pretty much get the vibe.
We're good.
I see what Andy's
oh
saying
no, I
about.
want to talk about it for 1 second though, because it was like a major part of the episode, right? Like it
Oh,
was
yeah.
a full half hour of this 2-hour episode.
Yeah, after we got over like the classic clips of Evan and Carly
Yeah.
and the clips of all the other weddings that have ever happened on this show, that was pretty
The
frustrating.
only things I want to talk about from it is that it was the same with Evan. I forgot what a loser he was.
Yeah,
He's
big time.
Such a loser, to the point that like she made fun of him in her own vows for being a loser. It
Well,
was
she thinks that he can't do any better than her,
Yeah.
and she is just the hottest one in the
That's
relationship.
the problem I've always
and
had with
that-
her. She
Yeah.
feels like she deserves a hunk or something. It's like, you know what, just stay in your weight class and you'll find a good guy, which she did in
Yeah.
Evan. Obviously, they're quite happy. So.
But she can't quite admit it, it seems
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, and I think her calling him a loser is almost a way of being like, I'm better than him, but I settled.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Her
he's
vows-
lucky to be with me. Yeah.
Her vows were half making fun of him and half things she found on the internet.
Oh,
It was like
we skipped them vows.
No, they're right there.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't watch it.
No, but we see them here. You're my weirdo. You're my lobster. You're my everything.
Yeah, but also
really-
like and then made fun of him for like using his phone too much. Like it was weird. It was very forced. It felt like it. Now they're pregnant, and that's the thing. Those guys are pregnant. They're having a baby.
For a second, I was gonna be like, this wedding's a sham. Evan's kids aren't there, but they were there, and they were thankfully blurred out.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, her
leave
siblings
it there.
weren't
Blurring
there.
them out.
Her siblings weren't there.
Weren't there?
No.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, it was just weird, and like it reminded me of that other wedding that they had there, and they ended up breaking up. But
Oh,
remember?
Lacey and Marcus.
Oh.
yeah, they're both with other people now.
No mention of Lacey and Marcus on this show.
Nope.
Of course not. They didn't work out.
It's a sham.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
sham. But I mean, I just thought, and all the ladies, their flower crowns, while colorful, it looked like they were wearing full plants on their heads.
Yeah, they were
Yeah,
too big.
they're
I
like
said the-
hats.
I thought the same thing. I was looking at what's her name? Tanner.
Julia? Oh,
No,
Jade.
Jade, and like, oh, I like the idea of flowers on their head,
Yes,
but that
me
is
too.
just dominating. It's a garden up there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, it was like full, like so many roses and so many different colors, so many like dyed flowers everywhere.
Like, you gotta water that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you ladies think of her wedding dress? I did not like it.
Oh, corset, bustier thing? No.
Yeah, you know
No,
what?
thank-
I didn't mind it. I just felt like it was.
Didn't look
was
like
it
it
a
fit.
corset? Was
Yeah.
it tied up
Corset
at the back?
style, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know about that, but the front was that bustier
It just
kind of thing.
looked like it didn't
Yeah.
fit. You know, when it kind of was sagging on her, and I think
Yeah.
the color didn't do her any
I
favors
think it
in
was
that.
low. It was too low. Whoever had
Too low,
fitted
yeah.
they'd fit it too low. It was a nice dress. Like she's a tiny lady. She can work that dress, but it just should have been like put up a bit. That's all.
Yeah. I also the retrospective was nice because it gave us a solid history of Carly's famous eyebrows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which are still bad, but in a different way.
Yeah, now she got that microblading happening.
Yeah, what is that?
Microblading is like a light tattooing of your eyebrow to fill them in.
Yeah.
So it goes
Right,
away
right.
in a year. But they can either be really well done or they can look V intense. And
Right.
hers look, for me, they look a little dark.
Yeah, they're way too dark.
Yeah. But you know what? I hope they have fun. I just thought they were cooler, and then I realized they're losers. And
I think I remembered that already, so I just wanted to forget this wedding ever happened.
I
Yeah.
just hope this is the last we see of those two.
Yeah.
I hope this is the period at the end of the book of those whatever their names
they'll
are.
probably do their, ultrasound on air,
Yeah,
figuring out the
probably.
sex of the baby. They're like full in. They got pregnant within a year of knowing each other.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
their
they're
life
full in.
forever. This is
I would not be shocked to see them get divorced down the line despite this child,
All
which
of
of
them.
course, yeah,
Like-
you got to say that in a bachelor relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I squirmed so hard when the girls cheered to our Tanners and Evans, and I was like, "Oh my God,
No.
you want a loser or a guy that calls his wife a bitch? Like those are the
Yeah.
things you're going for. Awesome, ladies, this is great.
Yeah, pretty
Sorry,
bad.
that's a little harsh, but that is the truth.
No, I mean, as we promised at the top of this pod, we get raw, we get mean. That's
Yep.
what you're going to get on
No holds
Canada's
barred.
#1 independent bachelor podcast. I don't have our email up, so we can't do viewer mail right now. We'll do that next week. But we
Yeah.
will encourage people to send us email, thebachelorpod@gmail.com, if you have any questions or anything like that. I think Andy puts a thing at the end of this that
Yeah.
explains all that. But what we don't have at the end is our Patreon thing. So if you like this podcast and you want to support it, check out our Patreon. Just search Patreon and The Bachelor Pod, and you'll probably find it.
Yeah, Andy knows the actual link, but I don't remember.
Yeah, and I've been sending out some Patreon-only newsletters that give a few little bonus tidbits here and there, and fills you in on our personal lives a little.
And probably in like 2 weeks, we're gonna do the Patreon meetup where we we all chat about whatever about this
Yeah, it's gonna
season
be fun.
or just about reality TV or your life, whatever you
Yeah,
want.
whatever you want, we're open to it. And man, I'm happy we're in paradise.
Yeah.
We all got our toes in the water here. I think once next week is over, when
Yeah.
we can really concentrate on paradise, Daniel gets in there. It's gonna be really good.
Yeah. Daniel's going to turn everything around.
Do we think he's the man with the white shoes?
Probably.
I think
Oh,
it's
I didn't even pick
They
up
were
on that.
teasing Lacey talking about Daniel so much that.
Yeah.
Oh right, yeah.
Or it's a trick. I don't know.
or
Could
it's a
be-
trick. Or it's just Chris Harrison saying like, "Hey guys,
We're back." Yeah,
We're
that's probably
back.
what it is. They trick us every time. Well, that's all I got to say. That was pretty fun.
That was
I feel good about that.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a fun first couple episodes. There wasn't the craziest amount of an ick factor, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I all in all, I think they handled it about as well as they could have.
Yeah, probably. You're probably.
Yeah, I
So,
guess so.
We'll see. Next week we'll get the rest of the story. We can wrap that up. Party on.
Party on.
Party on.
Okay, party on, everybody. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
If you want to contact us, you can reach out to us on social media. We're at The Bachelor Pod on Twitter, and individually, we're at Andy Holbone.
At Glenn McCauley.
At Olivia Macaulay.
At the Sarah Hillier, that's at sign THESARAHHILIER.
If you want to support the show directly, you can go to patreon.com/thebachelorpod and donate there. Otherwise, we're thebachelorpod@gmail.com for an email and thebachelorpod.ca. That's our website.